So welcome everyone. I'm SFIS Charter. I'm the director of the School for the Future of Innovation Society. And this, I think, is one of, I would say, probably my second favorite thing in my job. I'll say the last year has been I would say even the last 4 months, it's been quite challenging in many levels, but I would say, really, this is probably the second most pleasant thing I did. The first one is to tell people they got tenured, right? And I did this with Lauren. So I know at 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday, I had a glass of champagne with a unknown liquid inside. I say it was tea. So we got into Zoom. She had a busy day, and I had also, we couldn't get the schedule. So I said, well, 6:30. She said, I'm available. I said, I'm up. So I go in, I show the glass, and I say, is it too early to start drinking? And she goes like, I got dinner. So I would say congratulations, and thank you everyone who made this. So absolutely, that's the second, this is the first, when you are able to give good news and really celebrate the accomplishment of a community and our individuals also, right? So that's what we're doing today. So the first thing I want to welcome our students, parents, friends that are coming here, our staff, our faculty, and SFIS, I would say fans that come around. But it's really nice to see a community getting together, and especially I want to thank the entire team that has managed to put this together. We have Molly's probably outside, and it's Molly. Oh, you're there. You're on the computer. But Molly, thank you so much. Cindy, same thing. Kristen, and the entire team that made this possible. You see that we have following this show, we have also the poster sessions and so forth. But this is really a moment to celebrate the achievement and the incredible dedication of individuals to the mission of the university and the school. So the first thing we have is something really amazing, but extremely well-deserved. We have Nalini Chetri winning the Outstanding Faculty and the Graduate College Award. So there you go. And for those of you that may be near around this side of the woods, that's a really big deal, right? As far as I know, Nalini, correct me if I'm wrong, we had over 100 applicants for this, and Nalini is the first one in the College of Global Futures to actually win this award. So congratulations. I'm with this, as many of us here are. You're right here early, you get out of here late, right? And you see Nalini with students and dedicating time, effort, and really an incredible dedication to their success that goes beyond the call of duty. So this is really a moment to celebrate. So thank you, Nalini, for everything you do, and well deserved. All right. Falling on the show, Molly. I have a script. We had Lori here to introduce our awards for service recognition. Unfortunately, there was a last-minute emergency, but all under control, right? That she had to take care of her mom. So, but it's all good, Dave. Don't worry about it. It's just that there needs to be there to provide care. So I said, take care of your family, of your mom. Most important thing, I'll try to do justice. I won't, but you guys keep quiet. So celebrating 5 years, we have Kristen. Please stand up as I call your name. Diana Aiton Schenker, I don't know if she's online. But here as well. Jeremy Bellinger, I don't know if it's online. Well, you tell me they're online. Jenny Strickland, she's also with the Leonardo. And one of the guys that gave me good news this week, Nick. Well, fantastic. Right, next one, 10 years. So, Darlene Cavalier. Emma Pro. By the way, Emma started when she was pretty much Sophie's age. Scheme, it's pretty much there. Give it or take 1 or 2 years, right? And then we had Ray Osman also. So give it a double applause for Gina. And those were the folks delivering good news to me this week. So, we got double applause. I need good news, guys. All right, we got to go up to 15 years. There, he's along from DC, and Eric Bishop. Now, 2 decades, and again, started by the age of Sophie, right? Dave Gusta, well done. And last but not least, 25 years, Mary Jane. So Mary Jane is our deputy director. She's at this moment in a flight to Vietnam with a group of students. So, but this is, if you ask me, one of the reasons why, I asked her to help as deputy director. This is a big one, right? She has an incredible knowledge of the institution. This is my 4th year here. I right now know where the restroom is. I figured it out. And thanks, Stella, for putting signs on it, right? But it's absolutely fantastic. All right. So moving on the show, we have Lauren Killer. I mean, I almost associate, we need to wait to the date, but Lauren Killer talking with our outstanding undergraduate student.
Thank you so much. So it is my pleasure to announce our outstanding undergraduate student, Fernando Yanez Andrina Agloro, who enthusiastically nominated Fernando for this award, to share with you a little bit about why he embodies the mission and values of SFIS. Fernando is an Uber scholar, which requires driving enough to keep a gold, premium, or diamond status every 3 months in order to keep his scholarship. He returned to school at nearly 30 to finish his bachelor's degree. Fernando consistently brought his full self and his culture to SFIS courses, sharing early on that he is a descendant of the Caxcanes people, one of the last tribes in Mexico to be colonized by the Spanish conquistadores. In his assignment, he shared textiles from his hometown of Nochistlán, and was always brave enough to post video assignments whenever there was an option, showing his face and having his voice heard. In his manifesto, he said, adding the enye and the tildes to my name every time and having a strong accent and pronunciation when I take up space is fighting against erasure. Fernando also shared something that is so central to our work at SFIS, that knowledge is not always produced in controlled institutions, and that learning happens in other environments that we often do not acknowledge. There is a world of difference between having an education, being schooled, and being educated, knowledge and capacity. Fernando is a certified professional coach and said that he essentially coached himself into returning to school to finish his degree. He embodies our ethos that the future is for everyone. And I'm excited that we can count Fernando amongst our school's alumni. I look forward to what he does next, and I hope he remembers his SFIS journey. Congratulations. The medallion, thank you. That's the worst part going first. Okay, do I put it on? Yeah. All right, yeah,
well, I just want to say thank you to all of my professors and all of the faculty and staff that, guided me through this journey. This degree and this award is for my parents. Mi mamá. Thank you.
Well done.
And now it is my pleasure to welcome up Jamie Wetmore to give out our Outstanding Graduate Student Award.
All right. Should we get the right one? I have the great fortune of getting to introduce our outstanding graduate student, Ryan Watling. There's a good question as to whether or not I'm the right person to be introducing Ryan. Ryan, have we ever had a half-hour conversation before? I'm not sure we have. But on the other hand, it might be okay because I feel like I know you and that we've had hundreds of conversations. For those of you that have spent time in SFIS, Ryan is SFIS. I like to tell students when they're applying to ASU, you will get out of ASU what you put into it. I have no idea how much you put into this, Ryan, but an enormous amount. I think Ryan has sucked every last morsel of SFIS that he could possibly get into. He's everywhere. And I mean that literally. How many countries have you gone to as a result of SFIS now?
Just from SFIS, 5 on 3 continents.
Just on 3 continents, yeah. And the reason it's not more continents is some of those are small Pacific islands out in the middle of nowhere that don't have a continent. Engaged in Solar Spell, hugely important in all of that. Came to us with the huge amount of expertise that you get as a result of being a Peace Corps volunteer, sharing that with other students, sharing every part of him with all of us, having leadership positions. We always look forward to his GSO reports at faculty meetings. So in many ways, you have become SFIS, and I can't imagine a more worthy candidate for the Outstanding Student Award. So Ryan, congratulations. There we go. Oh wait, we have to turn so we actually. There we go. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words?
Sure, I can say a couple of things. Yeah, first of all, thank you to SFIS, the support and friends, family, everybody. Of course, wouldn't be here without every one of you. I think the second thing I'll say is that a lot of what I was able to do was because of the opportunities at SFIS. So as Jamie mentioned, there are just so many options of things to do, whether it's travel, research, go anywhere. And so thanks to folks like Lori with money, or Mary Jane with another travel idea, or Eusebia with just encouragement or GSO stuff. Or I mean, like every one of you has all had something, whether I can say your names or not. So that's really cool. And peers and encouragement as well. And then the last thing I'll say is that I take this as also a challenge, this award, to both the faculty and staff and those who are going to still be here, that we're going to be the ones filling your shoes some days. So you might as well invest in us so that your future is not just dropped to the wayside. But then also it's a challenge for me and for those going out into the real world that we have this great experience to kind of do the same thing of bringing visibility to those who aren't often at the table. So wherever I end up, I'll hope to do the same, that I've been inspired by you all. So thank you.
Ryan, you will very, very much be missed. So we look forward to hearing how
I'll
you.
be back for a PhD, don't worry about it. Just a matter of time, Jerry.
And I'm excited to introduce David Gustin. Dave is going to introduce our Faculty Member Charter Award.
Thank you, Jamie. So I will be giving the Faculty Charter Award to Mahmoud Farouk. Hello, Mahmoud. Who, as we all know, has been around for 15 years. And so I've been working with him for 3/4 of the time that I've been here. I am going to more or less read the nominating text that went with Mahmoud's award, with some editorial comment along the way. So the nominator says, this is difficult to write because Mahmoud has done so much as part of SFIS and CSPO. And I would also add the special arena of the Expert and Citizen Assessment of Science and Technology, or ECAS network. One could write paragraphs on how Mahmoud's work contributes to each design aspiration and each part of the ASU Charter. And I'm in full agreement with that, but that should make it easy to write. Oh, let me get a Mahmoud's way here. Easy to write rather than hard. The nominator focuses on 3 particular aspects. All of Mahmoud's scholarship and practice is focused on delivering outcomes to society from investments in science. And over the past couple of weeks, we've gotten a sense of what that connection really means to the way not just we in SFIS, but everybody in the university community and the communities that surround them do their work. His participatory technology assessment work and his writings on the need for connection between public values and science policy continue to push the cutting edge of the field, while also contributing to the burgeoning interest in his ideas by policy practitioners, federal agencies, and international partners. He's done so with a scrappy commitment, the nominator's word, to entrepreneurship, seeking opportunity after opportunity to share and refine his work and approach. This has built an extensive network of leaders and implementers across government, nonprofits, academic circles. Look no further than his ability to convene diverse groups of intellectuals, government officials, and policymakers at every event he has hosted for evidence of his entrepreneurship and his ability to leverage ASU's place in Washington, D.C. And that's not something that's necessarily apparent to many of the people in this room. And I urge you to sort of take part of your SFIS attachment and think about the DC part of it and bring yourself to that place because it's quite crucial. Mahmoud's impact extends beyond these relationships. He has testified in front of Congress and works behind the scenes to ensure America's commitment to principles of democracy and progress that are enacted in science policy and practice. He continually seeks to push that impact in new spaces, including taking on challenging projects with stakeholders and practitioners in new fields and geographic areas, as well as building connections with practitioners and participatory work internationally. He takes risks to ensure that the work he does lays foundations for future change. Along the way, he's mentored numerous students, formally and informally, sought to create new approaches for teaching participatory work both to ASU students and to broader learners, including many practitioners at science museums across the country. That's some of the public interest technology work that he's doing. So, fellow SFISers, it is my great honor to present the Faculty Charter Award. Is that one of you? This one.
Yeah.
To the scrappy, humble, and vastly deserving clinical professor.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, put your hand up.
I can't see what I only see a white wall.
It's always interesting.
All right, can I say a few things, a few words? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So, all right. First of all, thank you. I haven't won anything. So this is really a first for me. So I'm really humbled. So, about 3 years into my tenure at CISPO, I was speaking with Dan. Those of you know Dan know he would ask questions no one bothers asking. Dan asked, "Are you having fun? If you're not having fun, it's not worth doing." I said, "I'm having worried fun." This means I was having fun, but worried that it might not last. Why? Because over a decade at that point, I hadn't been in one place for more than 2 years or so. I reminded Dan, and Dan, obviously in his infinite wisdom, said, "I wouldn't worry about that because I haven't been in one place that long either." So when I saw my name up there with Eric's as people celebrating their 15th anniversary, I was thinking about, that conversation. How did my 2 years turn into 3, 4, 5, eventually 15? What made this day last longer than the ones that came before? I was thinking about my last 4 prior jobs and analytically had a spreadsheet in my head. And I was thinking, what made them special and what makes my current stay special. So first was New York Academy of Science. I would attribute the column, I would put brilliance. I got to work with some amazingly smart people. Second was City University of New York. On that attribute column, I would put heart. My colleague at CUNY were genuinely kind. Third was Northwestern. What I liked most about at the Research Development Office at Northwestern was it actually had a soul, a clear soul and a mission. Finally, I came to Purdue. Purdue's Discovery Park was special because it had the human infrastructure to get things done. As I look back, CISPO version 3.0, where I stayed and kept staying because it had all 4 attributes, the 4 things that made each of my previous employers special, all in one place. First, mind. CISPO was always, and SFIS is, an incredible collection of brilliance. I have the incredible fortunate to work alongside incredibly smart colleagues and students. Then the heart of Dan. I honestly know no one kinder. His kindness lives through others who have been touched by it. The soul of Dave. I know no one with a stronger sense of ethical and moral compass. But all of the brilliance, kindness, and morality wouldn't mean much without the one who makes all of them function together, who's not here today, Lori. CISPO and SFIS were and continues to be the perfect amalgamation of mind, heart, soul, and body. I'm grateful and humbled to be a part of CISPO and SFIS story and accept your kind recognition, but it speaks as much of me as it speaks for all of you, and thank you.
I'm really delighted to be able to present the Staff Member Charter Award to Molly Dean. So you probably know Molly as the Senior Events Coordinator for SFIS. What some of you might not know is that she also coordinates events for the School of Complex Adaptive Systems. So SFIS used to have 2 dedicated events coordinators, and now we have Molly, who works across 2 schools and 3 buildings, but you wouldn't know that because she's here for us whenever we want or need her, right? So one nominator for the sword, she had several, said Molly makes organizing our speaker series and other events look easy. Many of us in SFIS have a lot of experience trying to organize workshops and events, and we know that it's not easy, right? To get the technology, the speakers, the food, everything organized together at the same time. Molly knows, she's figured out how to do it all, but also it takes so much work behind the scenes to make it happen, and she works tirelessly to make sure that we can put our best foot forward all the time. The poster symposium that we're about to enjoy this afternoon takes months of planning and organization, and always has lots of last-minute changes and updates and things like that. And another one of Molly's nominators stressed just how flexible she is in accommodating all of the changes and requests, and that really this is in service of our students to give them the absolute best experience possible. And we so appreciate the work that you do to make our students feel valued as well. And so, you know, to have them have a good experience and keep coming back. Another nominator said that Molly is such a pleasure to work with and both earnest and sincere in her work. And I couldn't agree more. Molly, we just really want to thank you for the tireless work you put in, for how you really help SFIS shine with all of the public facing events that we do. And I'm going to finish with one sum up that a nominator said that I think really speaks volumes. The success of our community is directly tied to your skill, your courtesy, and your kindness. And we're so grateful for all the work that you've done.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Oh man. Thanks you guys so much. I couldn't have gotten this far without you and your support. Before this school, I liked wearing a mask when I didn't want to wear makeup during the pandemic and not spread disease. After being at this school, I now wear a mask so that big corporations can't steal my biological data. And foreign intelligence. So no, but truly, this job is so enriching. I've learned so much being here, and I really believe in the purpose of this school. I believe that the world really needs all of you right now, and I just feel so lucky to be here at this moment with you during these really historical times. And this is just a very supportive school. And yeah, I'm really happy to be here. And I'm also so grateful for your graciousness, because I was learning along with you. And it's because of all of you that my skills have really sharpened, and I've just really grew from working here. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Molly. Next, we have Eusebio presenting the Director's Service Award.
All right, well, thank you. And please tell people that, it's okay to wear masks, So it is, one of the things that is part of this tradition that we celebrate the ASU charter and at the same time the school is for the director to pick one person for the service director service award. All the others are actually a collective effort done by our community success group, which I think because it's the nice part about it. It's most of the time it is a tough job. What I mean by that is that sometimes you have like an easy front runner that you can say, okay, I'm gonna pick this card or this one, and when you have so many people that are, I would say, award worthy, you really have to put, your thinking hat and look at, at the big picture and think about the charter and our values and try to pick up one and sometimes try to convince yourself that it made the right decision. This was an easy one, Netra. But so Netra Chetri, I think it runs in the family. I don't know, but was selected in the Director Service Award. Netra has an incredible, a mind-blowing commitment to our students. The Innovation and Global Development Program, I would say, has a massive part of success. And Netra, I'll have to split this one little better. Have the effort and dedication that you have. I have had WhatsApp conversations with Netra. Either he's here in Tempe, in South Tempe, or in Nepal at 5:30 a.m., 6, working with students, trying to get things going, and seeing the incredible dedication to the development of our community, the success of our students. Netra, I don't know how many hours of sleep, but this is well deserved. Please come in.
Thank you. Thank you, Silvio, for this award. I'm truly honored to receive the Director's Award for Service. For me, it's a privilege to serve as a chair of PhD programs at SFIS. But more than that, it's truly an honor, and I'm very grateful to be able to work with tremendous amount of students, highly talented, and who are always committed to excellence, innovation, and with impact. I'm also very honored to be able to work with the staff and the colleagues who always both inspire me and challenge at the same time. I've had the privilege of working with students because they come from different walk of life. And I'll share you one story and maybe a couple of real story. In the first Monday of November last year, one of our PhD students came to my office, and by then he was already homeless for 3 months. And he told me, "Professor, I'm inspired. I'm inspired because Amartya Sen tells us," Amartya Sen is the Nobel laureate in economics in 1998. He tells us that if you keep two things intact, education and your health, you're going to serve, you're going to give back to the community. And then he tells me even more important thing. I wake up in the morning, I go to gym, do my cardio, and take showers and clean myself because it's free, because I'm a member there. After that, I go to my car, get a bottle of water and a loaf of bread, and I eat. That rejuvenates me. Then I drive. By then, the library, public library is open. I go to library, get the internet access, and tutor myself to Stata, which is a statistical package. It's not that easy to learn. And do my data analysis and write my results until the library is closed, so that I can keep my education and my health intact. So I'll give back to my community. So story of that kind. And another story that I'm going to quickly share. Last week, I was talking to another student who's in the middle of finishing PhD or writing dissertation. And I told the students that, well, Friday we have a charter award. It's better to come and be part of those community services and things like that, community events and so on. And the student tells me, I'm in the middle of writing my dissertation. I have not been to any one of these things. I'm just been isolated and focusing on, writing dissertations and pursuing PhD. This dream can be very, very lonely to everybody. It's really, really hard. But when you hear these things, then you have nothing but inspired. So then when I hear these stories, I have nothing. I can't complain. Wake up early in the morning, and then I'm extremely lucky that my better half is here. My other family members are here too. They keep on supporting me in everything that I do, and that gives me even hope to serve better, because the future rests on the commitment, resilience, and the focus on creating a knowledge that makes everybody better in the future. Thank you.
When I was a junior faculty, I was really interested in what made professors successful, or people that I would like to mirror. And one can go very quickly to citation records or invitations for keynotes. And at the end of the day, there were two things that I really believed made a difference. One was compassion, and the other one was generosity. And those two things I see on every interaction. So once again, congratulations. So it's my pleasure to introduce Chris Deaton to introduce our undergrad student charter award. Go ahead, Chris.
Nick, I saw you on there. Turn on your camera. Say something.
Yes, I am here. I'm joining you guys from the baseball field. But
There you go. Now we got. Yeah, we've had a few meetings over baseball this semester, so this is not the first time. The last 3.5 years, I've had the pleasure of teaching the capstone here at SFIS, and I've been combining that with the Future 17 program. And the reason I tell you that is because I've got a wide variety of students in the program. I would say this semester about 50% were SFIS students, but all of these students are coming to me for one or two reasons. It's because principal innovation or responsive innovation. So they're all pretty like-minded, right? Sometimes it gets hard to pick out who the SFIS students are. This semester, however, Nick stood out. He came to me and we talked the first week about what he would like to get done. He was tired of the work he'd been doing, 40 years in energy and mining, and he wanted to do something that had more impact with his life. Last semester, at the end of the poster symposium, a couple of students came with an idea to develop an Innovate certificate. And this Innovate certificate would follow a model we've been working on with class. It would provide a certificate program for nonprofits and corporate entities to show whether they're innovative or not based on principal innovation, responsible innovation, sustainable innovation. Nick jumped all over this program. Nick, Krista, and Lauren actually took off together and developed the program in the beginning. Nick has helped lead the team to the end. They've started a company. They've actually got that foundation to do the Innovate Certificate program. And we've actually been working with the College of Global Futures career team to develop an internship program based on their certificate program to help them run it. So one of the things that stood out for me over the late nights and the after class discussions is he never stopped asking why. Kind of stands out for this department, right? Who are we serving? Why are we doing it? Who are we impacting that we're not asking the questions about? To the point that, I got tired of hearing the questions. But Nick has stood out. He's brought it to the finish line, and that is why he stands out to me as the undergrad charter student for SFIS. I'm going to follow Jay. Put your hand up.
Yeah, put your hand up.
Other hand, right hand. Right hand.
It's like a holding.
There you go. All right.
We'll get to you. All right.
Yes, thank you, Chris. It's been a true pleasure working with you and the team. Kind of like baseball, SFIS has a way of just bringing people together to do do great and amazing things and for the right reasons and all inclusive. Never leaving anybody behind. It truly is an honor to receive this award.
I know he just left, but I want to throw something out since Fernando's gone. If you've got time, please come to the poster symposium. Fernando's poster for the Uber program is absolutely phenomenal. So come spend some time to talk to him there too. All right, it is my pleasure to introduce Yazine, who will be presenting the Master Student Charter Award. I think I saw her online.
Yes, Jane is online.
There.
Well, first, good afternoon, everyone. I am very happy to be part of this community event. As Eusebio mentioned, it's both a celebration, but also a community effort to solidify our relationships. So today I would like to share my thoughts on Samuel Lam, who's been an exemplary SFIS community member. I am very honored to present this Charter Award to him. But I would like to share a few things that I think they are very interesting because, as many of you mentioned, every community member has a piece or few pieces of SFIS, and sometimes even all the pieces. What I find interesting about Samuel, he comes from a purely engineering background, I believe mechanical engineering. But since he joined GTD, he embodied the spirit of GTD, which is simply put as, hey, you have all what it takes technologically, technically speaking. How can you bridge that with the social and human as well as cultural dimensions of technology? And he did that both at the curricular level by engaging seriously and sincerely in class at the classroom level, but also he did that through co-curricular activities. He's been engaged with our GTD-wide community events as well as GTD alumni events. He's been also very active through other extracurricular activities like study abroad programs. And more importantly, in his applied project, he truly embodied the spirit of interdisciplinary research. And the way he did it is, in my humble opinion, was unprecedented. So he combined two faculty members who belong to different schools and even made it more of like a formative project. That is to say, we met regularly for his specific applied project. And I was so happy that he took that initiative. His project was on AI standardization, but he focused on public engagement and trust. And I found that really, truly embodying what SFIS is about, namely what GTD is about. So I'm very happy that Samuel receives this award, and I would like to give him a chance to share a few thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. This is a great room, and it's a true pleasure to be speaking with all of you. So my name is Samuel Lum. I'm originally from New York City, and I actually live in DC. But it's kind of funny because I'm actually flying to Tempe tomorrow, so I had to miss this by a day here. So to kind of piggyback off of what Yassine was just saying, and I do have some quick remarks preps, but I started the global technology development degree that specifically gain a new appreciation of the socioeconomic, socio-political aspects of technology. And in truth, I grew up knowing nothing about it, about politics or civil society or policy in general. And Yassine knows as well, but I was lucky to start my career out of undergrad at the FDA. And last year, I had a chance to detail at OSTP at the White House, the Biden-Harris White House, which is perfect timing actually, because while I was going to school and doing all these classes and putting that time in, I was learning about technology development, human rights, technology equity, and working across all sorts of societal scales, from community to to countries and intergovernmental country work globally. But I think what really clicked for me and the degree and the program itself, and as a testament to all the professors that I've had, was listening to some of my White House coworkers when we talk with people. So I know one example I always remember is we were talking to this big lobbying firm about this important issue. And the first question was, that I heard my boss say was, "What's your view?" But the second question was, what's the top argument against your view? And what she was really alluding to is who stands to lose. Because at the side of every policy argument is some winners and losers. And when we're looking at stakeholder incentives, she asked that question because we wanted to know which people, which groups stand to win, but more importantly, stand to lose. And we really wanted to, because that was our thing, trying to make technology equitable for especially groups that were marginalized, especially access by Indigenous people, for example. That was something that was a big thing. That really stuck with me. Who stands to lose? Ever since then. But I do want to say that in doing the applied project and going through all this during my career so far, that public service and really public health has been part of my career since the beginning. And even a quick contribution to the Arizona Department of Health Services, which I'm just finishing up as well, a project with them. But I will be forever grateful to ASU for an amazing education, some of it, or most of it distant, some of it study abroad in Japan, which I actually got to do with Dr. Parmentier last year on AI in society. But there have been so many different professors that I've been able to have throughout the years for development and for all sorts of other electives. They helped me appreciate the careful balance between what is innovation and technology that works for everybody. There's a really big two completely different angle to work. And I would say that if I'm ever in the West Wing again, I will always ask the who to lead question, because I just think that that's incredibly important and something that people need to keep in mind and really focus on and design for, so that we don't, so that we make it work for everybody. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Samuel, and congratulations. Well,
thank you so much.
Well, this was not planned, but there is no way I can introduce our next presenter without acknowledging our friend and colleague, Dr. Netra Shetries, for the Service Award. And I just want to emphasize briefly to Netra that his service has encompassed faculty as well, and me as a roughly new faculty member. I've always cherished and valued both his mentorship, but also his practical and engaged attitudes to understand my background and support me grow as an SFIS community. So our friend, Dr. Netra Shetri, the floor is yours.
It's my real privilege and honor to introduce Caitlin Rowe for a Charter Award at the PhD level. Let me say a few words. Katie came to SFIS HSD program about 2 years ago. Probably today is the last formal day of your second year. And then in this 2 years' time, she, as a student, we also are supposed to either do research or help in teaching, assistantship, things like that. She helped TAing some of the undergraduate courses at SFIS. And last year especially, she also served with Ryan as the representative from the graduate students to the school. That was a big service, as if the teaching assistantships and the coursework, demanding coursework, was not sufficient enough, but she volunteered to serve and represent the community. Her research interests, her dissertation interests around space technology, social and ethical dimensions of space technology is a really important topic. Knowing that a lot of those ships are hovering around and trying to capture every moment, but nobody asks seriously about the ethical dimensions of those. So Katie is focusing on ethical and social implications of space technology. I hope, there are so many milestones to still jump. Next year would be more rewarding to you. You'll I hope you'll finish some of the major milestones and dive into your research that you came to do here. I also hope that during this summer, you'll find time to read. And the things that you like to read, maybe sci-fi stories or some of the books on space technology or the history of space technology. They probably are collecting dust somewhere in your bookshelf. Katie, congratulations, and it's a well-deserved award.
Thank you, Netra. I appreciate it. I think I'm in between us and lunch, so I'll try to be brief. But I think we all feel similarly when we get an award like this, that we get to talk to and thank those of us who, or those who help support us as we do the things that we do. And I think most of the people are in this room right now who have supported me in the last 2 years here in SFIS. I have some family who has come to join me today. And also the faculty, staff, students. Ryan has been a great help running GSO with me this last year. So I think when I think about the charter and I think about this award, I think a lot about the conversations and interactions I've had with all of the community here at SFIS. I think one of the unique things that I've gotten a chance to experience is I am a TA. I've done TA work, so I've worked with undergrads. I am in the PhD cohort, so I get to see the PhD. I have been a GSO representative, so I've gotten to see faculty and staff, and I have friends in the master's cohort. So I get to see all of the communities that make up SFIS, and that's a really unique thing, especially considering this last 4 months, like you said, Eusebio, has been very challenging. And in that time, that's a time that people can tend to lean away from one another. And being able to see all of these different communities, I've seen every single one of them find ways, even small ways, to lean into one another. And I feel really good about that, getting to see discussion boards with undergrads talking about big issues, but being able to talk to each other instead of talking to issues. Being at faculty meetings once a month and seeing you all have conversations, hearing about the master's programs, being in my own cohort meetings. It's been a really wonderful opportunity. So I'm here for a couple more years and I'm excited to watch us lean into each other.
A couple more, otherwise Netra will get you.
Yeah. Thank you all so much.
Back. All right, I'm back, Netra. Okay, so you see where Molly got an award? We're running right on time. And you see what I'm talking about, Netra, just to prove that I was not lying. Even on his speech, he managed to coach and mentor, right, Katie? So, this is absolutely fantastic, right? You can see the incredible group of people that we have and the achievements and this purpose that unites us. Katie, honestly speaking, your view that you have and how you were able to partner, with Ryan. Was you coming back for PhD? No questions asked. So, you managed to not only represent, but really partner into this journey of, creating the next steps for the school and really bring the students' voices, concerns, aspirations, purpose in a way that really creates this important partnership. Because at the end of the day, when you think about the Charter Awards, the responsibility that we as a public university take for the communities that we serve, we measure the success of our enterprise really not only by who we include or exclude, but really by the success of our students, our faculty, our staff. So this is the moment that I said, second best moment of the week, right? It's really that celebration. So before I close, I really would like to invite everyone. We have the poster session happening here on the 4th floor. So if you go around this area and that area here, did I get it right, Molly? Right, we have posters, stay around, engage, and really thank you so much for your presence. We have, as I use also Fernando is no longer, but one of my mottos with Danae, which is one of our faculty, si se puede, yes we can. Let's keep going. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.